Hey everyone, how are y'all doing today? My name is Rose Jaskari. I'm 29 years old. I'm wearing a plaid suit, my favorite color green, and I'm feeling handsome today. And instead of trying to go through death by PowerPoint like most presentations you've seen in the sales world, I wanted to tell you more about myself, why I decided to be here today. But with that said, first off, I want to say it's a privilege to be here, a privilege to be in New York, and to meet the great minds such as yourself here. So my story is that I started my career in the threat intelligence space and connectivity and so on. I've solved some of the hardest connectivity challenges for some of the largest organizations in the world, and I've been in the intelligence space trying to make sure I can help companies know about threats, try to structure that information, and act on it before things happen. So I had a pretty good life, doing some really cool things and enjoying that, and got the chance to work on what I like to call ivory tower problems. And that's when it hit me. About this time last year, I was hit by a car as a pedestrian, and I had a lot of time to reflect on what type of life I want to live, what kind of problems I want to solve, and what I want to do with the time left I have on this earth. And so in reflecting on that, I thought about the type of people I want to help. I was thinking of folks like my parents, who come to this country and have to navigate, language barriers and administrative barriers, and have to try to understand and navigate the work as they go through it. And so, with that in mind, and solving some of these, challenging problems, I had a lot of time again to reflect and see what can I do with this skill set and these privileges I've had to work on something that could help and serve people like my folks and people in the field. So then I spent, the last project I did before I decided to jump in this fully was I got to help design an aspect of the network for the Super Bowl this past year. So I've gotten the chance to, have the perspective on bringing some of, the hardest, like intelligence, distributed intelligence problems, some connectivity problems, bringing it together in such a way. And so in reflecting all that, I decided to do something a little different and just go out in the field and meet all types of people and just listen. I've met all types of folks, and specifically the type of folks that I had the most fun speaking to were superintendents at general contractors. So that accident led to me selling all my possessions, moving out of my corner bachelor pad, took my car and my magnets, all my cool clothes I still have left, and decided to move back to the DC area where it's closer to community and family for me. And so I spent time chasing cranes with my friend and co-founder Jason Lee. And so I went around to these sites. I took these glasses that I presented to other people, and site to site, the ones that didn't kick me off immediately. I put it in front of them and said, "What do you wish this could do?" And jokingly, someone said, "Can this make it so I can go home sooner and see my family?" And I actually said, "Yeah, it's definitely possible." So as I'm listening to these different people and seeing the work they have to do, the challenge that I see, with that in mind, is historically, I see the application of technology to reduce the burdens of certain challenges. When it came to the industrial age, it was labor. When it came to computers, it was the calculations and all that aspect comes with that. And with the new age of AI, something that I feel like it really helps with today is cutting down on the bureaucratic barriers. And so there's this book I like called The Utopia of Rules. I recommend you all check out later, by David Graeber. And it's about why bureaucracy exists. And I'm trying to suggest here that bureaucracy in itself, or administrative work in itself, isn't the enemy. These reports, these things that people count upon, definitely matter. But what is the challenge here is the time you're taking away from these experts in the field, making them adapt to your tools to try to report on these things. So that hour that's taken from these experts in the field, these people who know how to do the job, but might have a language barrier, or have to take all the photos and videos of that day and structure it. That's time taken away that can be spent more with the community, more time spent building schools, hospitals, critical infrastructure, mentoring others, and just sharing more time together. And so I see technology in that aspect as something that could be transformative and help out that way. And so putting it all together, I decided to, see if I can put it here, created Animus. Animus is a multimodal platform that takes the data off wearables and smartphones and structures that into Intel reports. So for the superintendent workflow, the ones I'm meeting that I'm actively using with today, they put on the glasses, they speak their language and do the job, which they know how to do, and it goes into their record system. For them, it's programmed. So with that said, just walking through it, and with the name animus, for background-wise, I studied computer science and philosophy back in the day, so I think that's the part that messed with me a bit to say, hey, what can I do to help others? And the concept of animus is that here's all the unconscious data that drives my decision-making. So right now in a day, these experts, specifically the superintendents I'm working with, the Dylans, the Brandons, the Ikes of the world, they're taking photos and videos of the drunk